Okay, so today is 420,
Yes, it is.
National Weed Day.
Yes, National Weed Day.
And weed, marijuana, pot, chronic, cacao, whatever you want to call it, loud, should be legalized.
Basically, yeah. I mean, we feel as though this is the perfect day to do that, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay, so we have some reasons right here for why we should legalize weed. Let's start off with one reason we have. One reason we have is it would end the war on, or it would end or decrease the war on drugs. It has turned out to be nothing but a complete failure.
yeah. The whole war on drugs has done nothing. It's not helping the country at all.
No, and it's just been shown to be a complete failure again. And like a historical example to point out would be, when alcohol was illegal during the 1920s and 30s, and look how much of a disaster that was, and like all these crime organizations and gangs and Al Capone and everything like that. So that was a complete failure. And so why is it that we keep weed illegal? It's not doing anything. It's not. We're not getting any better with that. It's not doing anything good with that either.
And another reason, our country has the largest prison population out of any other countries in the world. If you do some research for yourself, you'll see that the rise of the U.S. prison population coincides with the beginning of the war on drugs. On some people
Are in jail over a substance that's less harmful than tobacco. It might even be less harmful than alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Yeah, and this is true. I mean, look at Rikers Island, Alcatraz. Huge prison populations.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's really pretty bad. I mean, and all the statistics I have seen have shown that the correlation or the correlation just so happens to occur right at the beginning of the U.S. drug war. Like right when the U.S. drug war started happening, that's when the prison population started skyrocketing from when it was before the drug war. And the majority of those people are in jail because of drug-related violations, which is absolutely ridiculous. This shouldn't even be the case,
I mean, do you see any murderers in jail? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some, don't get me wrong, but there are more people in jail that are in jail for drug-related crimes than murdering someone,
Right, exactly. Legalizing would also lead to being able to tax it, which means more money that could be used to help this country in fixing its infrastructure or helping to fund public works or anything else of that sort. Basically, legalizing weed would guarantee that we would know it would go to better sources and the money would be used for more meaningful things than just buying weapons to shoot people.
And also, completely legalizing weed would allow people to start up legal businesses, and the money that's currently being spent on drugs wouldn't go to dangerous sources like drug lords and gangs.
Yeah, exactly. Also, to point this out, many people now support it. Good. That's a good thing. Many people in the public support it. I mean, I don't know. Again, I really don't know why it took so long.
I mean, for
people to get on to realize that this is actually a good idea to legalize.
Yeah,
this
I don't
drug.
understand that either. And right now it's over 50%, around 52, which is
According to one article, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
or
not
one poll, I should say. Yeah.
That's high. I mean, it's over half, so that's something.
Yeah.
But here's another
problem.
97% of Congress is in denial of legalizing marijuana.
They're basically against it. Yeah.
Which I don't understand.
I don't. I mean, I don't get that myself either. It's just. Again, people are very outdated, and some of the people who are against weed are very outdated in their thinking, and they don't want to accept that they're wrong. They just they got information a long time ago, and they assume that it's right, and then they don't want to assume anything else. So
I mean, it's already 2010s already.
But it's not even that. I mean, it's it took such a long time for people to realize, hey, maybe legalizing marijuana isn't such a bad idea after all. I mean, we have freaking prescription drugs. We have freaking tobacco that's legalized that kills plenty of people with lung cancer.
Oh yeah,
and
alcohol is legalized. I mean, there's that whole age thing. You have to be 21 or over. But if you drink so much, you could die of alcohol poisoning. That's definitely possible.
There's legal prescription drugs, and if you've seen all those drugs on TV with the side effects and how they mention all these side effects, I mean, it's just, if all that stuff's legal, then why can't weed be legal? It's the same exact thing. Also, medical reasons. Some people use for medical purposes because it's helpful to them. There is medical marijuana in many states, but not all states. I'm pretty sure on that one. I actually assumed that one. I'll be honest, but I assume that it's not in all states because the only states I know it's in that is you get it for medical reasons is Colorado, California, Washington State. I think Illinois just recently joined the whole list of.
Well, Illinois has legalized it. I mean, I remember before you get arrested for it if you smoke it, but instead you get a $200 fine.
Didn't Illinois legalize like medical marijuana though?
I think it may have did.
But I am definitely I know at least 3 states. You can get it for medical purposes, especially California. So yeah, and
yeah. And also, here's a funny thing. One of my friends was arrested. He was in jail because I already know what the problem was because he was smoking weed. And I'm like, really? You go to jail for just smoking weed like that? Come on. And it's so stupid. I mean, really though. I mean, okay, if you're doing cocaine, that's one thing. I understand that. Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit more of a issue that we're gonna. That's kind of like going off topic and like.
Yeah, but
that's like something that's like a little bit off for another time.
But you know what I mean? Like cocaine, heroin, methane. I can understand why those are illegal. Those are dangerous drugs. They can kill you, but weed can't.
Well, it would take longer for weed to kill you, basically, because you're still smoking a plant. Anyway, the point is that it should be legalized though, because tobacco's legal, but yet they put a ton of chemicals into tobacco. There's a lot more chemicals and harmful substances in tobacco than there is in marijuana, and so it can still kill you a lot faster. And plus, what happens is when you get addicted to tobacco, you need more of it, and you can get addicted to marijuana, but it doesn't happen it doesn't really seem to happen as much. Like the ratio doesn't really seem to happen as much,
Yeah.
Again, so medical reasons. 8 is the government shouldn't control what you put into your body, and yes, exactly, I agree with that. I feel as though that's the other reason why the government shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I just don't understand why,
it's your body. The government shouldn't tell you what to put into it. No, the government should tell you.
I mean, the government's job is basically to protect you and all of that, but not tell you what to do with your life.
Right, and I mean this whole thing is not protecting us because it's actually damaging society.
It is damaging society really bad.
There's gang wars, with gangsters. They sell marijuana, and that funds their little turf wars or little gang wars. And then you got bigger kingpins in places like Mexico that end up killing thousands of people. So, it's not actually helping or protecting anyone. It's actually making things a lot more worse and a lot more chaotic. In some countries, they can't even control the situation. It's that bad. So, I have some facts right here. Some facts by Esquire magazine. So they did an article about legalizing marijuana, and so here are 5 of the facts that I got from them. They're more on the article itself that I will put in the link in the description. The first fact I got was because drug war isn't just a failure, it's a spectacular failure. According to a handy summation in Wednesday's New York Times, despite billions spent on measures from spraying cocoa fields high in the Andes to jailing local dealers in Miami or Washington, a gram of cocaine cost about 16% less last year than it did in 2001. Because about half, that was fact 1. This is fact 2. Because about half of the 1.64 million people who are arrested for drug violations every year were likely carrying a tiny amount of marijuana in their pocket. Fact 3. Because defending the irrational makes people stupid. Yes, it does. Have you ever seen this video of DEA Administrator Leon Hart trying to defend marijuana's placement among Schedule A substances like heroin and cocaine? As we learned from the Soviet Union, a government can only defend an irrational system through coercive this and violent methods. Fact 4. Because we could make more money than you realize. Here's Harvard's Miron on drug legalization would yield tax revenue of $46.7 billion annually, assuming legal drugs were taxed at rates comparable to those on alcohol and tobacco. Approximately $8.7 billion of this revenue would result from legalization of marijuana and $3.8 billion from legalization of other drugs. Because people are dying. This is the last fact right here. Because people are dying. The drug war is a war. In Mexico, I mentioned this earlier, but here's like more detail on it. In Mexico, in the last 5 years, police and drug cartels have killed more than 55,000 people. Now the Department of Justice says that drug cartels are running drug distribution networks in over 1,000 U.S. cities and growing marijuana in national forests. If they're going to cut people's heads off, they're getting a lot of practice. So that's basically, I basically just summed it up right there. I think you basically got to the point of all that. I feel as though, again, this whole thing's been a waste of money and waste of time, and that we should legalize, marijuana. Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a huge waste of time. And yes, marijuana should be legalized. And happy 420, everyone.
Yep.